Hello everybody and welcome to today's video. Today I have one of those builds that I know a lot of players who are only interested in the best builds in the game will not really enjoy. However, if you like playing solo and you want a build that has 1.4 million armor in total, 4% armor generation, 30% armor on kill, as well as another 40% bonus armor on kill every time you pick up a memento trophy, then you will probably like what I have to show you today. The biggest issue I deal with when I make builds like this one is how to get both high survivability and enough damage so I don't have to spend 2 magazines to one elite enemy in order to kill him. So I had to combine some talents in order to make this work. We're running the perfect spotter on the chest piece for the 20% amplified damage to pulsed enemies, the flatline on my weapon for another 15% amplified weapon damage to pulsed enemies, and of course my favorite exotic, the memento, which will give us 15% weapon damage for 10 seconds every time we pick up a trophy, as well as another 30% weapon damage from its long-term buff when we reach 30 stacks. So I can confidently say that we have the best of both worlds. We have both high armor generation, a lot of armor on kill, as well as decent damage. The damage is not that good that you will be able to clear legendary content all by yourself. However, it's good enough for heroic content, which means you can do challenging pretty easily, and on heroic you won't find yourself asking for more weapon damage. Again, if you like playing with this type of builds, if you want builds that will do 1 million per shot, then obviously this isn't your build. Now that you have seen some gameplay and gotten an idea of how the build works, let's take a closer look at it. I will have more gameplay later on after we're done going over the build. We have 4 blue cores, 3 red cores and 1 skill tier. When it comes to the branches, we have 2 Bellstone armory pieces for the 10% armor on kill and the 1% armor generation. 2 Usina Getka, with one of them being the named chest piece closer for the perfect spotter as we said earlier. Usina Getka will give us 5% total armor and another 10% armor on kill. And the last branch that I'm going to be using is the Palisade Steelworks for another 10% armor on kill, which makes a total of 30% armor every time we kill an enemy. Memento will offer us 3% armor generation, and we're going to get another 1% as we said from the Bellstone armory, so reaching 4% armor generation in total, 30% weapon damage and 30% skill efficiency at max stacks, as well as 30% bonus armor, 15% weapon damage and 5% skill efficiency for 10 seconds every time we pick up a trophy. When it comes to the attributes, you will need 4 blue core attributes, 3 red core attributes, and for the rest of the build you will need to invest all your attribute slots on critical hit chance and critical hit damage. As you can see here, we have a total of 53% critical hit chance and 101% critical hit damage. Taking a closer look at each bit individually, you will notice that most of them still have room for improvement because I can optimize most of the rolls. So those critical hit chance and critical hit damage numbers can be improved even further. When it comes to the weapon of my choice, I wanted to go with something that has high base damage and can equip the Technician laser sight so I can pulse the enemies as soon as I look at them. Sadly, the PDR FAMAS and the F2000, which if we're being honest were my first option here, cannot equip it for whatever reason, so the AK was the next choice. As you can see, I got myself a military AKM with 9% damage targets out of cover, and of course the flatline talent, which works great combined with a perfect spotter that we have on our chest. For the mods on the military AKM, I went with something different this time around. I didn't invest everything on critical hits and critical hit damage because I wanted to get that 10% accuracy mode as well as another 20% stability mode in order to make it easier to control, because as soon as you play with a military KM, even on PC with mouse and keyboard, you realize that the recoil is actually quite hard to control. Overall, a build that I had a lot of fun with. I cleared more than 10 control points because last night I was clearing control points all night long. I did a couple of bounties. Pretty much everything open world has to offer, and I didn't find myself having a hard time at all. Again, this is a build not for players who want to be as efficient as possible. This is a build for players who want to try out different stuff, who like to have a lot of armor, who like to have armor regeneration and armor on kill and bonus armor, and you know, throwing it all in the mix and having an all-around build, so to say. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe for more content. I will have more gameplay for you in the background right now. Let me know down below in the comment section what you thought of the build and if you think that you're gonna try it or not. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.